guys, Dakara here and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the review of season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Stick around to find out some of my thoughts, my favourite things, my least favourite things. Let's roll that intro and we'll get straight into it. Okay, so first up is a rating of season 2 as a whole, and I'm going to give this one a very strong 9. I want to give it a 10, but I don't know what's going to be ahead, so I don't want to peak too soon. So I feel like 9 is probably the safer bet to go with. But I loved this season. I can't wait to get stuck into my thoughts and everything. Right, okay, so where do we start? Season 1 was clearly just finding its feet, setting up the characters, the whole idea of a Slayer and Sunnydale and the Hellmouth and all the rest of it. Whereas this time we could get a little bit deeper, and I felt as though the theme of season 2 was relationships. That was a strong theme running throughout most of the episodes, to be fair. We got to explore Buffy and Angel, Jenny and Giles, Xander and Cordelia, Willow and Oz, Drew and Spike. So many relationships, like the list goes on there as well. So I found it really entertaining to get to grips with the characters on a deeper level than season 1. Next will be my favorite episode and why, and I've really found it difficult to make a decision on this one. My inner Chidi do be strong right now, and I think that's a credit to the show because there were so many amazing episodes in one season that I'm genuinely struggling to pick one. But after weighing everything up, I'm gonna say the finale is my favorite episode because there was just so much weight involved, and it's a two-parter as well, so I'm kind of cheating, but it had a bit of everything, and I felt kind of drained after watching it because it was so emotional but so enjoyable at the same time. They had emotion, drama, action, literally everything. Humor was still in there. Like, they didn't lose anything. They just gained, and it was unbelievable. Cannot speak highly enough of this season. You dare, cheeky mare. Anyway, I may as well tell you like what my close second would have been as well. I think it would have been Surprise or maybe Innocence. Let's just combine them because that whole storyline of Buffy and Angel and Angelus being born again was just a lot. It was a lot. We're really good, really good. So my fave character still remains, it's Willow. I just adore her with all my heart. But I will say, because I've got an inkling that Willow is probably going to be my fave character every single season. So to keep these reviews interesting, I'm going to do a runner-up as well. We're not going to count Buffy because that is a no-brainer. Buffy is a favourite. So the only time I will bring that up is if she is slipping and no longer becoming likeable to me. I doubt that's going to happen though. But yeah, she's just an instant tick. She's just up there anyway. So other than Willow, I would say my next favourite character would have been Spike. There's something about Spike that is keeping my interest very high. Whether it's the bad boy tendencies, the chiseled jaw and cheekbones that could cut through glass, I don't know, but I'm into it. I just find him so interesting. He has this like wild persona, like really unstable, like a hothead that you just don't know what he's going to do next. That's the vibe that I get from him. And following the finale of this, seeing this whole other side to him as well, he's still got that I'm going to look out for number one, which is me, side to him, but also that he does feel for Drew a lot and he's willing to put Angelus away to keep hold of that relationship, which is kind of toxic when you think about it like that. But yeah, the Drew and Spike relationship is so entertaining to watch, but also times like just really uncomfortable. I don't like the way he calls her pet. It's personal preference, but not a fan of that. And I think that her showing Angel some affection just genuinely bothered him. Obviously it would, like she's literally like leaning all over him and everything. Like it turned into a three-way pretty quick when Angelus returned. So I can't blame Spike for not really being for that, to be fair. So yeah, I'm gonna say Spike was probably my new favorite character introduction. Although Oz, guys, I love him. I was fuming when it turned out he was a werewolf, but after obviously watching more of it, like, I get it, you know, he's a good werewolf, right? I also want to say like a memorable scene, and this one is a no-brainer for me. So the memorable scene will be the coming out scene between Buffy and her mum. That felt really big, and someone mentioned it in my comments, but I also noticed it through my first watch of it. It also felt like a coming out story. Yes, she was talking about being a slayer, but it had a lot of similarities. Whether that was done on purpose, I don't know. But just things like when her mum was like, have you ever just tried not being a slayer? I just envisioned her saying, have you ever tried maybe not being gay? You know, that type of vibe. And I find it really interesting because this aired, what was it, 1997, 98, something around there. So it was realistic of that time. I'd like to think that nowadays, yes, we've still got a long way to go with the LGBTQIA+ in the world right now. But if you think about what it was like to where we are now, we're definitely going in the right direction. I want it to continue going in that direction, please and thank you. So it's nice to see a realistic approach to that, and I'm hoping that within this show we'll see her mum come to terms with Buffy being a slayer and accepting her for her and not treating it as something that makes her mum uncomfortable, and that's it. So let's just hope that Joyce will come to terms with Buffy being a slayer and be really supportive. I want the mother bonding time back, please. Like I want it as strong as ever. It still blows my mind that it's took this long for her mum to find out that she was a slayer, but she was rowing down that river of denial for quite some time. I think she's known something wasn't quite right with Buffy keeping these secrets, but she just thought, she's a teenager, that's what teenagers do. No, she's been out there slaying supernatural monsters. So obviously, despite that being so far from the norm, with it being supernatural-esque, the coming out scene to me definitely had those qualities, and I feel as though the actresses played their roles perfectly. And yeah, I just enjoyed that scene a lot. It had a lot of emotion in it, some humor as well, a bit of action as well, to be fair, but the anger that they had for each other at the end, honest to God, I felt my heart breaking. Like, if you walk out that door, don't you come back. It's like, no, please don't be like this. And yeah, we saw her off on her bus to God knows where now. So I'm assuming season 3 is going to be wherever Buffy is going to end up. What I do hope, though, I'm going to say this now, is that this isn't going to be a new world that we have to explore. Wherever it is she's going to be, I hope it's short and sweet. I don't want to piss about getting to know new characters and all the rest of it in this new world. Get back to Sunnydale, love. That's where my heart is, and that's where I need you to be. Thank you. So I always have a most comedic scene that I'm gonna choose. And for me, in season 2, it has to be the Halloween episode where Giles sees Willow as a ghost. It makes me crack up every time I think about it. And again, shout out to Ella for telling me about that scene and making me rewatch it, because you guys would have lost your minds if I didn't see that scene, and I would have been fuming that I'd have missed it as well, because oh my days, it was hilarious. Giles, you're a legend. That is it. Most emotional scene. For the most emotional scene, I'm gonna say Buffy killing Angel at the end. It just hit diff. I was in utter shock, a lot of denial, and many a river of feels in that moment as well. Like, it just made me so sad. The way that they did it, by getting Willow to carry out the spell, do something that she wasn't really familiar with, and she was so weak at the time as well, and still managed to do it, was successful. Buffy still put that sword through his chest and pushed him into the portal, and it was just heartbreaking. You saw Angel return in that moment to still have him be killed. Like, it was just not how I thought they would play it. It hurt my heart. That's definitely the most emotional scene. Sarah Michelle Gellar, you're a crying legend. There is many a ship in the show, many relationship, and my favourite one, to no surprise, is going to be Buffy and Angel. It just makes me sad that that's how it ended. I feel as though they could have been something so special, and we got to see a bit of it. We got to see quite a lot of it actually in season 2. It was just the second Buffy opened her legs, it was game over, you know what I mean? She's got a magical vagina. No, I'm kidding, guys, but in all seriousness, their relationship was not supposed to work. It was a Slayer and a vampire. They're not supposed to be together, but they were like magnets, just drawn to each other, and the chemistry was undeniable. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Yeah, the chemistry was undeniable. The passion was so intense. Like, that sex scene, guys. Oofed. That's pretty saucy, you know, pretty saucy. For what, 1997, 98, it was something special right there. That must have been one for the books anyway. But even when I think about their first kiss, like, that felt full on quite quick as well, so it shouldn't have been a surprise to me that their sex scene was quite heated as well. I don't know what to expect with this show when it comes to that sort of stuff, because when I think about the shows that I watched growing up, they were very PG, really. There wasn't anything too saucy, but I feel like this has potential to be a bit more racer. But I don't know what time slot this aired at or what rating it was. I mean, it weren't going to be on HBO, is it? Surely not. This isn't going to be some Game of Thrones type of shit. So I'm excited to see, you know, what we get there. Anyway, predictions and desires for the next season. I predict that Buffy is going to return to Sunnydale. Please let it be quick as well. Again, I think maybe Willow is going to be put off by magic, because she's done this spell that I don't think she knows that it was successful. I could be wrong there. I'm sorry if I am. But as I'm aware, she doesn't know that it actually worked, right? So I have a feeling that she is going to be put off by this. This might plant a seed in her head that she shouldn't be messing with this type of thing, and she's gonna be, yeah, just scared to dabble in it. That's my prediction. Again, please don't tell me if I'm wrong about my predictions, guys, but this is just what I think at the minute. I am probably wrong. I usually am, if you've watched any of my other reactions. Another prediction is that Xander and Cordelia aren't gonna last. I don't think that they're gonna be endgame. I also predict that Buffy and Giles are gonna become super close in season 3. I feel like Giles going through this loss with Jenny and Buffy going through this loss with Angel, they're gonna grow closer in the grieving process as well. Like, he's been through it, she's going through it, they can relate to that, and he's going to become even more of a protective father figure through, you know, grief. I wish it was on better circumstances, but that's what I'm thinking. I know that he's her watcher, and he's technically, it's his job to do that, but I feel like Giles's relationship will be deeper than a job role. I feel like he will genuinely care for Buffy and want to be there as a friend. as well as a watcher. What else do I think? Maybe Oz is gonna turn into a werewolf and harm someone that is close to our group. I feel like he's gonna harm someone of importance. Again, don't know if he does. I'm just saying. I feel like maybe he'll end up biting Willow, and then not being able to live with harming her. I don't know. What else could potentially... we'll get some new characters. 100% we'll have to get some new characters. We've lost Jenny. We've lost Angel. I'm assuming Spike and Drusilla are gonna run off, because he did say that you'll never see him again. Like, I'll take Drusilla and we'll go. So that's a lot of characters down going into season 2. So they'll have to bring in some new blood. Pardon the pun. Maybe Joyce is gonna come to terms with Buffy being a Slayer, and their relationship is gonna become more solid. This feels like this is just what I want to happen, so I'm gonna predict that it does. Put that positive energy out there. I feel like so much happened in this tiny season. But yeah, fantastic. Loved every second of it. And I'm going to dive into this extra footage now. I don't think I'll be able to share this on YouTube. Apologies if I skip to the outro right now or just show very little clips of it. But yeah, I'm excited to dive in. So let's do just that.
The makeup for most of the monsters, you know, obviously it comes from our great makeup department.
Oh, I love stuff like this.
And John Volich is the guy who's actually building the monsters in his Slayer.
We have this group of friends in
I
this
love
world
this group of
that you get
friends.
involved in.
I was actually
Julie
the
Benz!
test dummy for the vampire makeup, and they established the vampire look on my face.
So you start with the life cast, which is about an hour-long procedure. Some people are really claustrophobic, some aren't. Depends on the person. Once the life cast is done, you have a three-dimensional representation of the actor's face. Sculpt with clay the new shape that you want it to be. Make a negative mold on that. Out of that negative mold, you
So
clean it
many
out
factors.
and put foam latex into it, which is a whipped foam. That goes back into the mold. It's clamped very tight, put in the oven for about 5 hours. And what comes out is the foam rubber prosthetic that we apply. Then we set the teeth up. If they have a custom set of teeth, that's fine.
I want to try it.
And it's sent for them.
And after she's done, we'll end up with a final product that looks something like this.
If they're
Mad.
background vampires or fighting vampires and they don't need to speak, then we have generic shells, which are the teeth on the outside with a little sort of cup behind it, which we fill with acrylic relining material, put it in their mouth, it sets up around their teeth, and then about 6 minutes later you have a semi-custom set of teeth. The problem with them is they're very bulky. Since they're built to fit almost anyone, the person can't really speak with them in, and they will distort the face a little bit. So we really try and do custom teeth whenever we can.
This
But
is
even when
fascinating
we've got-
to me.
And I must say, I've been very, very proud of our show. A lot of shows, especially like ours, that have a small following at the beginning and then only grow later.
And then it
right
grew
away
into
by things like
something
the Academy.
unbelievable.
And we were nominated the very first year we were on the air, which was wonderful. So that was the one
Amazing.
great thing about that year is we walked away with a lovely little golden statue.
I love that. That was so interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well if you've not seen it. Like, seeing the prosthetics and everything and what goes on behind the scenes and how much hours it takes. It's like, it does make me feel bad as well for sort of laughing at the snake guy and the fish guys and all the rest of it, because so many man hours have gone into making these characters. But like I was saying during that, it's a shame that obviously nowadays you have the little dots and then you film as normal, you wear like the green suit or whatever, and then the computers do all the good stuff. And it looks unbelievable. Like, it looks so impressive. But that's done in post. And yet the stuff that takes hours and hours prior to even creating the work, and it doesn't have that same level of crispness. I don't know, just like final products. Like, it just looks more real, doesn't it, when the computer does it, which is mad. But it's given me a newfound respect, I think, for all the hard work that goes into these characters that are made. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. So there is my review of season 2 of Buffy as a whole. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I love to read them. I want to thank you for following me on the journey so far. Please remember, I have all the full extended videos and early access over on my Patreon of all of these reactions. So if that interests you, head on over there and check it out. I can't wait to start season 3. It's going to be so good. I just know it. I know it's going to be amazing. So yeah, thank you all so much, and I hope to see you for the next one. Bye guys.